Alright, this is Papa here. Standing here with Lori. I wanted to show you guys something that I have never seen yet. She's planted all her vegetables on hay bales,
Straw bales.
straw bales. Okay. What made you decide to do all this?
Well, I read a couple of references on the internet, and a friend of mine on Facebook posted that she has decided to try some planting in straw bales. And she actually has land. She doesn't need the room, but this is a nice way to get a raised bed garden, and you can do it in a smaller space. So after I did some research on it, a couple different websites, I thought, I'll try it.
What's the benefits of it? I mean, other than space.
It gets things up off the ground, this is not one of my considerations, but it could be really nice for somebody who's got mobility issues, because it's a raised bed, so it's easier to get to. There's no weeds.
Oh yeah, I never even thought about that.
It's easier. It's a little easier for pest control. Now I have to do a little bit of pest control right now with this, but yeah, the thing I like the best about it is it's no weeds. Plus, I can move it around if I need to. It's not a permanent installation, and so far the plants seem to really, really like it, with the exception of a couple that I just planted too late.
What about actual planting of it? Now, do you have to start them in soil, or
No.
did you start them in this?
You have to get the bales starting to rot, and I read how to speed that process up on the internet, using some very high nitrogen fertilizer and watering the bales. So the bales got watered for like 2 weeks, and then I added 100% urea, which is basically all nitrogen, and started the bales rotting. I grew up on a farm, so I'm familiar with rotting straw bales and rotting hay bales, and it helps to generate heat, plus it also provides nutrients for the plants. And everything for the larger plants that were actually plants when I started, I just dug holes in the bales and put a little bit of potting soil in, garden soil, and planted them. For the bales where I've got, this is lettuce and a lettuce mix that I just planted again. For this, I just put soil on top and then sowed the seeds right in. Same thing with the beans and the peas and the yellow beans. The peas are the ones that aren't doing very well, but I found out I should have planted them earlier. They like colder weather when you plant the seeds. So
looks like your tomato plants are doing fairly well.
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to can tomatoes, because the tomatoes are just going absolutely nuts. I had no idea they would do this well.
And how many plants are there? Just 3? Are there 3 or
tomato
4?
plants? No, there's 6 tomato plants.
Oh, okay.
A cherry tomato, and let's see, cherry tomato, big boy, yellow tomato, a Mr. Stripey that's it's supposed to be an heirloom variety, and 2 beefsteak tomatoes.
Now, you going to save a few of the heirloom varieties to make seed for next year? Or?
If I like them. I've never tried this particular variety, so if I like it, then I'll try and see if I'm successful at overwintering the seeds and see if I can get them to sprout next year. Then I've also got a cantaloupe growing and cucumber, and so far the cucumbers have been wonderful. I've picked 3 of them.
Now, what about water? Do the hay bales? Am I saying it right? Straw bales.
It's straw.
Now, what's the difference between hay and straw? I mean,
hay is actually grass.
Okay.
And it's a food source.
Okay.
Whether it's for horses or cattle or sheep or whatever, hay is actually a food source, and straw is barley or wheat or something from which the top has been cut off, so the seed head is gone and all you've got is the straw.
Okay.
And you use it as animal bedding or mulch or anything like that. But hay has grass seed in it, so you don't want to use hay bales because hay bales will sprout.
Good idea.
The only thing I have sprouting from my straw bales are where there was grass seed in the bale itself when it got baled. But other than that, I don't have anything growing from straw bales that I didn't already plant.
Now, how about the watering? Do they hold more water than just normal ground, or?
No, they hold actually less water than normal ground. Obviously, we've had a real heavy rain here, so everything is soaked.
Right.
But we do have to make sure that we water because the bales drain much quicker than the ground. Now, the more they rot, the more water they'll hold. But you do have to pay a little bit more attention to watering. I also make sure to add Epsom salts for some magnesium, and I fertilize. I just happen to have an organic fertilizer that I like, and I use that every couple of weeks or so. Because again, you have to be a little bit more conscientious about fertilizing and nutrients and water.
I mean, that might be why your plants look so much bigger than mine, because, like I said, I got just little buckets right now I'm trying out, and they're about half the size. I'll post a video about that here in a few days.
Yeah, so far I've been really pleased with the straw bale garden. There's a couple of things that haven't done well, but mostly it's me, not the particular, it's not that it's the straw bale. It's like with the peas, I didn't plant them until, I think, late May, and I should have planted them in late March.
I guess another benefit would be rodents and stuff, like rabbits and stuff like that running around. Probably won't jump up there and get to them. Either that or maybe that's...
Probably not. Everything's in cages because although I don't have a rodent problem, I do have a dog who apparently finds vegetables tasty.
Yeah, this is a fairly small yard too. I mean, it's surprising to see a garden in a yard this small.
That was one of the reasons I wanted to go with this because with the dog bag here, I needed some way to physically separate or demarcate garden and dog area.
Right.
And with the exception of one Brussels sprout and one tomato, she's pretty much left everything alone. Now she did, when I first put up the chicken wire, she did bother the chicken wire a little bit, but I think she figured that bothering chicken wire was more trouble than it was worth. So ever since then, she's left stuff pretty much alone.
You got a bunch of tomatoes coming in there.
Yeah, I'm going to be just buried in tomatoes.
Alright, well, this is my first time ever seeing anything like this, so that's why I wanted to do a video on it. Anything else you want to add to it?
It's certainly easy enough to do, and overall not particularly expensive. I mean, I got the hay bale or straw bales on Craigslist. They were $3 a piece, and it was a minimum of 10. So I figured, well, I'll get 10. That's why I have 10 bales because I had to buy at least 10. So I took my truck over and just got the bales.
That and you don't have to till.
No, I don't have to till. I don't have to weed.
It's crazy.
I hate weeding.
Alright, well, maybe in a couple weeks we'll come back and do another video and see how everything's turning out. It's looking pretty nice now. Look at the size of these tomato plants.
Yeah, I can't believe how well the tomato plants are doing.
I mean, they're like
Good
small
thing we
bushes.
like tomatoes.
Yeah. Alright, well, thank you very much for sharing with us. Everybody on YouTube, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.